If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor look too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life for broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at the beginning, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are done, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 40 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
you write women so well?
I think of a man, and I take away reason and accountability.
But what is so important about driving faster than anyone else?
A lot of people go through life doing things badly. Racing's important to men who do it well. When you're racing, it's life. Anything that happens before or after, it's just waiting.
Target acquired.
Eagle 1, first strike. You have permission to engage the target.
Warning, the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day. I have had a pretty decent one, and we're going to get into some really cool stuff here. I warn everybody in advance that I'm a little jacked up on pre-workout, and I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, and we got really animated about the show the other night. I went on and I went over on Raging Tomato. We'll get into that in just a second. First, for everyone who is concerned about my son, he's fine. There was no big deal. What happened is he cut himself. He was using a gouge to make a wooden cup or whatever. And he wasn't using a Kevlar glove or anything while he was cutting towards himself. He went across his finger. Where's the camera? He went across the finger here and sliced it pretty good with a gouge. Gouge is U-shaped, so it took a pretty good chunk. And he actually bandaged it up himself. But my wife freaked out. She didn't even know it had happened. He was sitting on the couch until she noticed that his hand was all bandaged up. She asked him about it. She called me. That's what happens. However, he didn't do a particularly good job. He was a Boy Scout, so he knows kind of what to do, but he didn't do a particularly good job of taking care of it. So I had to take care of it. Now, this is where I tell people all the time, get some training, learn some basic med, keep that shit around. So I got some quick clot because, knuckle injuries, they just don't stop bleeding. So I went and got some quick clot, used some quick clot on it, used a couple of butterfly closures to pull the skin together and lock it down, put some gauze over, wrapped it, done deal. Next morning we get up, go to the urgent care. The doctor looks at it and says, yeah, there's nothing I can do here. You've already done it. It's all good. And it's already healing. Everything looks great. It's wonderful. Not even going to have, he's going to have a scar, but it's not going to be that bad. So just because he went canoeing this weekend with his school, they went ahead and did the medical super glue, which I didn't want to super glue it because of risk of infection. But they went ahead and super glued it. Everything's great. No big deal. So again, I stressed everyone, you never know, get some training, have stuff around. It's a little bit, it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of money, but it's not that much. And the big thing is that you just don't freak out when these things happen, and you can fix it and fix it right, instead of constantly trying to keep a Band-Aid on or whatever. It was just easier just to do the right stuff. And that was legit. So, next thing up or next up is, so everything's great. He's fine. He went on his school trip. He'll be back today. Everything's great. Everything is no problem. It was just one of those things where my wife freaked out, and I knew what was going to end up happening is they were going to start arguing because he wants to be left alone. He's a Boy Scout. He knows how to do basic wound care. He thought he had it handled. She wasn't going to let him think he had it handled because she doesn't know. She's not a Boy Scout. She doesn't have any of that training. And it was going to end up being this rotating arguing match until he ended up in the emergency room. And I didn't want that. So I took care of it. Everything was fine. Really appreciate all the concern, though. Really, absolutely, really do appreciate it. I did come back out. I jumped on the Raging Tomato, and I had an interesting exchange with Ryan. And, over this Jimmy Kimmel thing, right? And we're going to get right into this. This is going to be a little exciting, a little bit rough. It might be funny, maybe not. I don't know, but hang with me. We'll get into the rest of the show shortly. But for right now, you guys may have not seen this side of me. That's okay. We'll get there. So Ryan, the Radical Coder, who is just a shit debater, who has no positions that can't be defined. Literally, just all you got to do is just watch Destiny, and you'll know Ryan's position and arguments, because he's literally an idiot that can't create his own argument, has no point of view of his own. He just literally echoes everything, all the talking points of the leftist media. Now, this is important because when you get into something like Jimmy Kimmel is actually pretty nuanced. Jimmy Kimmel doesn't stand for free speech. That motherfucker doesn't stand for free speech at all. Jimmy Kimmel is a paid advertisement. He's an infomercial. The only reason that this is not absolutely hilarious. I mean, it's funny. It's not absolutely hilarious. The only reason why it's not absolutely fall down like you were passed out drunk funny is because the left goes to great lengths to tell you that the entire time he was on the Man Show and shouting actual based shit with Adam Carolla, well, that was a job and he was acting and he was getting paid to do that. And that's not actually his real positions. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Jimmy Kimmel doesn't have any damn positions. He does whatever he's paid to fucking do. He is literally a paid advertisement, okay? He doesn't have an opinion. First of all, second, there's no free speech issue here to begin with. He works for somebody that has a set of standards. You don't get to have free speech in the workplace. You don't. You agree to work there. You agree to their terms. You don't have to agree to those terms. You can tell them to go fuck themselves and walk out the door and say, my free speech is more important. That's how come we know free speech doesn't mean jack shit to Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel's never cared about your free speech. Jimmy Kimmel has never made a single fucking argument about free speech. And now you got all of these dumbass motherfuckers like Ryan, the Radical Coder, who's no fucking clue, can't perform an argument, and wants to equate Jimmy Kimmel's weird ass firing, which I don't know whether it was justified or not because I don't give a fuck, to this other guy on Fox News who said, yeah, we should have forced deletion of the homeless. Well, that's bad. I would have fired the guy for that. That's my standard, right? But what Ryan left out was that guy was just talking to, I believe it was a coworker, it was someone close to him, about how these homeless people should have been in jail or in a mental institution or in a hospital somewhere, were roaming around the street, and they killed this person that was close to them, and the guy was mad. And he said something that he really didn't mean, or maybe he really did mean it, but he shouldn't have said it live on the air. And Fox News said, hey, either you apologize or you get the fuck out. And he apologized. He went out and he said, hey, guys, I was emotional. Sorry. Hey, no harm, no foul, man. You shouldn't have said it, but I get it. Drive on, right? Drive on. We all have bad days. I say shit I don't mean all the time. Fuck, if there wasn't some grace, between my wife and I, we'd have been divorced 19 years ago. But now, the reality here is there's no free speech issue with Jimmy Kimmel. There just isn't. He worked for somebody that decided to fire him. And then he whined about it. And then he goes on stage like a little bitch. And instead of saying, yeah, I said it, I'll say it again, motherfuckers. Instead of saying that, he was all he was literally paid actor. My free speech. Oh shit. But that motherfucker has never cared about free. You can't find anywhere where Jimmy Kimmel has supported free speech for anybody. As a matter of fact, I promise you that if you look back far enough, you'll find where he endorsed endorsed and agreed with the expelling of people who said who were anti-vax off of Facebook and Twitch and X and all that other thing. He probably laughed his fucking ass off when Trump got kicked off of X. Fuck Jimmy Kimmel and fuck Ryan the Radical Coder, because he obviously doesn't have a fucking clue. Pick a better hill to die on if you want to talk about free speech. Jimmy Kimmel got his job back because he's a pussy, and he whined about it like a pussy, and nobody gives a fuck about it. But most importantly, Ryan the Radical Coder doesn't have a fucking clue. And he's never going to have a clue, and that's why I can never interact with him. Because literally every single time I interact with him, the only thing I'm left with is, how does this guy find his fucking dick to take a piss? Like, honestly. Like, I honestly don't understand how this dumb motherfucker makes it to the bathroom and doesn't just piss all over himself. He's the stupidest person on the planet. Right? Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm right. I think I'm right. I think it's fucking funny. And I think it's really interesting that that anyone lets him on a panel. The only reason to let the guy on the panel is so that he'll get kicked off and give you a bunch of fucking money. You know, if I were that guy, I would be fucking embarrassed as fuck. If I knew that the only reason someone had me on a panel was so that they could make money off of people hating me and kicking me off and paying for me to go to be timed out, I would be absolutely fucked in the head. What a low sense of self-worth you may have. So, anyway, we'll get into the rest of the show. I just thought it was fucking funny. Jimmy Kimmel's a paid actor. I mean, that's a fucking... He'll say anything you pay him to, baby. I mean, what the fuck? Why do we give a shit about actors in the first place? Do you think these are moral people? Do you think these people have a fucking ounce of reality? Do you think, why the hell do we give a shit? Why? I don't. I could give a fuck less about Jimmy Kimmel. I don't care if he gets fired. I don't give a shit if he gets literally exiled out of the country. I don't. He's a paid actor. He says shit for money. And sometimes that shit's going to get him in trouble. We don't, as I said during the thing, the exchange later was, we don't know what Fox News's lines are, right? They're a corporation. They don't give a fuck. I bet their rule is, hey, you can just say whatever the fuck you want as long as we don't get 3 letters from the FCC. So, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Steelman, you're right. Charlie Kirk is a paid actor, but he pays himself. Yeah, he pays himself. Yeah. When you own the company, it's cool. It's good to be king. You should try it sometime. I mean, you'll never make it, but you should try it. If you can ever be king for a day, you should get there. At any rate, guys, let's get into the rest of the show. I'm sorry, I am remiss in not welcoming everybody to the show. Anson Knowles, as normal, was first in the chat. He just bops right over here from Mike Ball's channel after Mike goes off the air. Grillapolis is out there. Good to see you. Tootie Bug is out there. Good to see you out there. Awesome. Very cool. Midnight Newton is here and asked about my son. Thank you so much. Frankie Too Sweet. I believe that is Tweedle. Whatever. I think that's the husband of one of the other our other listeners. And let's see. Well, we had quite a little exchange there. Buddha is out there. Good to see you, Buddha. Happy to see you out there. Thumping Weevil, that I believe that's Thumping Weevil's husband, Frankie Too Sweet is. I think that's what's up. Smoking Spaceman's in the house. Good to see you. Thumping Weevil's in the house. Good to see you. I see all y'all. Beth Mayhew is listening in her car on the drive home. I'll take it. It's fine. Let's see. Who else? Got a lot of people. Mr. Mister's in there. That's right. Try crazy somewhere else. We're all sold out here. That's fine. That's fun. It is fun. That's a really good intro. I need to make another one, but that's a really good intro. Mullet Baby is in the house. Hassan said he won't go to Twitch Khan, due to the climate and security risk, he is a coward. He doesn't want to be held accountable for being a terrorist sympathizer or even an accessory. Yeah, sure. By the way, I am going to TwitchCon. I will see, if you're going to TwitchCon, I will see you there. Say hi if you know me. Wicked Wally's up in the house. Good morning, Jerk. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. Ryan the Radical Coper, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. The Steelman's in the house. I mentioned him earlier. That's Steelman wishes he was funny too. He just hasn't realized that people are laughing at him and not with him. That's what's up. Anyway, he makes Wick look like a Harvard professor. He does. Ryan the Radical Coder actually does make Wick look smart, and that's a fucking low bar, baby. That's a low bar. The Briar Wolf is in the house. That's why I quit paying the boot people. Sort of pointless when the creator intentionally has them on to be booted. Yeah, I get that, man. That's why I don't play that game. I don't play that game. I should, because I make more money, but I can't because I got like scruples and shit. Let's see who Emmett is in the house. Good morning, Emmett. Glad to see you, man. Awesome clips, by the way. I've been checking them out. So yeah. Steelman drinks all of the Kool-Aid. He drinks that yellow Kool-Aid that smells a little like piss. But people tell him it's not piss, but he drinks it, so it's cool. Yeah, he drinks that Kool-Aid. That's the Kool-Aid he drinks. So yeah. Confluence, my man, listening while editing. Hope your son is doing well. Yeah, he's doing absolutely awesome. He is doing awesome. Yeah. All right. So we got a lot to talk about today. I did want to open up with that, with the funny hour. Stephen Akar is in the house. You stopped booting Ryan as well. Yeah, not playing that game anymore. I just don't go there. I mean, look, I first of all, when I popped on, Ryan wasn't on stage, but it's cool. I just don't like that guy. I've tried many times. Like, I like Steelman. Steelman's annoying, but I like him. He's okay. He's cool. At least sometimes he will have a logical, rational, and good faith argument. Ryan never has any of the above. Just doesn't. So, but yeah. So that's what's up. I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be a dick about it, not trying to be a dick about it, but it is what it is, Now I know that everyone is waiting for me to weigh in on the Michigan shooting, and we're going to get to that. I promise. We're going to run through some other stuff first, but we're going to get into it. But I promise we're going to get there. So just bear with me a couple of minutes. I had to calm down after the Jimmy Kimmel thing, man. I'm like, who the fuck cares about Jimmy Kimmel? Like, seriously, who the fuck is that guy? Like, he's a fucking paid actor that's not even a good actor, right? Like, his ratings suck. I mean, that's coming from somebody whose ratings suck. So that's what it is. I can't compare. I don't compare my other guests to you, Anson, but maybe we should. Maybe we'll look into that. So yeah. Anyway, all right. So guys, we're locked and loaded today. It's another day in the fight. We got all the misinformation, disinformation, uninteresting information. Got a lot of shit going on out there. We're going to break down some of this madness. Let's start with the usual categories. We'll start with the world history, or not world history, world history. With the world view, what's going on out there, world events, politics that hit the U.S. or hasn't. We have an issue with it. What's up, Ghost 1978? See you out there, man. 1 hour away from you? Yeah, that's rough, man. We're going to get into that. There's a lot of nuance to that. More so than I think most of the more recent shootings. So we're gonna we got to talk about Netanyahu and the peace, the peace talks today. We got to do that. We got some national, a lot of national politics and honestly social shit storms going on right now, especially out there in Portland. That's fire right there, baby. It's fire. Yeah, that's funny. Let me, we'll get mullet, baby. That's true. I'm going to just throw this up here so everybody can really, truly, truly enjoy this. This is true. Yeah, Jimmy was better on the Man Show because I think he was actually probably using his real position, but then he wanted to go full bore, and you can't do that as a righty, right? Like, so he had to tell everybody that he was lying and acting. We'll get to that. We'll get to this on the screen here in a minute. I got a lot of stuff here. Obviously, we got some economic headlines coming out. We got watch outs for the working man. We're going to talk about that. And we got a lot of security threats going on. We're going to talk about a lot of this stuff. So we're going to get there. No fluff, maybe a little fluff, mostly facts. America first, always, forever. Let's get into it. All right, let's go. Let's dive. First of all, if you're taking a dive, if you're taking a dive, just change your name to Ryan. All right. So yeah. Matter of fact, I hear Ryan Reynolds is considering changing his name to Brian Reynolds because of Ryan the Radical Coder. He doesn't want to be associated with any other low class ass Ryans. That's what I heard. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I just heard Ryan Reynolds is going to have to change his fucking name. Yeah. Same. Ryan Felipe, he's changing it to Brian as well. Yeah. Anyway. Because Ryan the Radical Coder sucks so bad that no other Ryan wants to be related to that shit. Anyway, all right. So, guys, the global stage is a powder keg right now. You guys just don't know. They got drone attacks in Ukraine, man. We got drone attacks on boats now. I mean, I talked about that last week, but we got into it. We didn't get into it that bad. We didn't. Obviously, Trump, the White House, everybody says we're very close to a Gaza framework deal, to a path forward to peace. President Trump has set to, is currently, I believe, right now in talks with Netanyahu. And there's a lot of pressure to wrap up this war, not just from the U.S., but from a lot of different places, and we'll see what Trump can get done today. Obviously, Netanyahu, ball's in Netanyahu's court, but we'll see what happens today. A lot of pressure, though. It's a lot of pressure. Trump obviously is pushing for that peace. He's rejecting the UN demands to hamstring Israel, because, I mean, Netanyahu's digging in and basically saying, hey, we're just not going to do it if you do that. So to get a deal done, I think Trump's doing the deal maker thing where he's like, hey, give a little, take a little, make it look like he's giving a little. We'll see. The domestic tie-in, obviously, is there's a looming government shutdown as the Dems clash with Trump over the budget. And it's just like any other budget. I mean, it's just not what I feel like I've said this the last 5 years. Mullet baby, man, you got to be careful because WMD has no sense of humor, man. You can just like use regular punctuation and WMD thinks you're posting a link. So sorry about that, buddy. Sorry about that. What's up, Grumpelstiltskin? I would love to leave the government shut down in January. That'd be fucking awesome. However, we can't do that. So we got the shutdown situation looming, which we've said every fucking year for like the past 10 years. This just did. the government threatens to shut down. We're going to the ropes, folks. We're going to the, we're going to it. Whatever. All right. So, obviously, the Dems are fighting Trump tooth and nail. They're risking paychecks for veterans, seniors, law enforcement, which I don't actually understand that because only federal law enforcement would be affected. They're all unionized. I don't understand why they don't have their union doesn't have a plan for this bullshit. Just in case of government shutdown, you get paid out. But maybe their union sucks. I don't know. Maybe, but I mean, I think all unions suck, but maybe theirs sucks more than most. I don't know. Somebody could clue me in on that. Let's see what else we got here. Obviously, Trump is after Netanyahu. Trump's meeting with the congressional leaders this afternoon to hammer it out. Try and make something out of nothing. I don't know if he'll get there. He could get there, maybe. I really would like to see a shutdown. I think Trump should just be like, "Fuck it, my way or the highway, bitches." That's what honestly, I want to see that. I think everybody ought to call into the White House and say, "Tell Trump to just fucking shut it down. My way or the highway, bitches." See what happens. Shut it down to January. Why not? Do we need those fuckers? No, I don't know. Anyway. There's a lot of, Mr. Mister's right. 30% of the GOP is against Ukraine funding. They're still trying to get funding for Ukraine. We can't even, we're not funding things here, and that's a problem. We're going to get into why that's a problem in just a few minutes. Look, we need to shut the government down. That's all there is to it. Really, honestly. Overseas, I don't know if you guys know this. Iran's now executing dissidents. That's right. Your religion of peace is a bunch of bullshit. They're executing dissidents. Now, do you understand what that means? A dissident is somebody that doesn't fucking agree with the government. Okay? And Iran is now executing dissidents. Remember, they do have their slave markets back open. Any idiot that supports Iran or any Muslim nation at this point should probably get the fuck out of the country and move across the ocean and be over there and see if you survive your liberal ideals, you dumb motherfuckers. Taliban has actually freed a U.S. Citizen from Afghan prison. I don't know if you guys heard about that. And the U.S. military is now eyeing strikes on Venezuelan drug lords, which is a classic Biden-era mess that Trump inherited. We just got to figure it out. They just got to figure it out. Closer to home, we got to talk about the church. Got to talk about these church shootings, guys. I'm gonna hold off on that. I got a couple other items. We've got. I don't know if you look. I understand a lot of this stuff just slides by. Nobody hears about it. Nobody understands it. And I try and get all this stuff together and give it to you so that you have the information that I have, and you can tell other people about this information. Trump's dropping executive hammers left and right. He is fucking people up. He is literally beating them at their own game. Last week, he signed orders on saving TikTok with national security tweaks. Okay, because everybody said, well, he was going to ban TikTok. Everybody banned TikTok. No, Trump's like, nah, fuck you guys. We just need to fix it. We have national security issues. If you guys want, obviously it's wanted. People love it. But we got to fix it, So they're putting in some national security tweaks. He's designated Antifa, which we all know as a domestic terrorist organization. That's about time, folks. Should have happened so long ago. So long ago. And he's launched the Trump Gold Card program for some elite perks for investors that buy that card to come in for as citizens. He's teaming with the I can't remember my own initials here, the HHS. Anyway, Secretary Kennedy. He's tackling the I believe I may have written this wrong. I think it's Department of Health Services. Anyway, he's they're going after autism, the autism epidemic, and they're really trying to get more research and bolder research on leucovorin. I hope I pronounced that right. And Tylenol links. I don't know that I believe the Tylenol link, but maybe we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's worth testing, and that's real actions for families that are affected by these things, or young people right now that may want families. Right? On the global front, obviously the tariffs are shaking shit up, right? Trump has, come down with the tariff hammer. They've been in place. People thought they were going to be like 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, whatever. No, we're here. The tariffs are still there. Matter of fact, he's raising some. He's always tweaking the tariffs. And up to 100% on foreign movies to protect Hollywood of all fucking places. Right? 100% on foreign movies to protect Hollywood jobs. Now, I think actually that's the movie industry, not just the films themselves, because that prevents people like me from offshoring my video production, and instead I hire Emmett to do it. Right? I think that's what they're really talking about. But I don't know. We'll see. Right? Now he's hiked more. He's put more hikes on Indian goods over Russian oil buys, especially, look, if you don't understand, India is selling Russia oil to get around the embargoes that we have in place. So Trump said, fuck you, you get a tariff. Matter of fact, we're going to increase the tariff. So that's what's going on there. And he's actually paused on China. I think he hasn't raised China, and I think he might actually be, kind of like, he may not be reducing them, but he's just stabilized there. Well, obviously, the critics, we got some of them in the chat, will whine and moan and cry that it's risking corporate America. That's bullshit. Corporate America is just fine. And of course, it's America first, baby. America first all the way. All the way, every day. And pushing allies away from Russia and China is not a bad thing. So in the Ukraine, if you're not aware, I think most people are aware, Trump's subordinates have floated, mentioned, whispered tough talk on Putin. But Flynn's urging peace, and I quote him: "We want you to be the peace president," right? I think Trump is. I think that's a real thing. Trump's monitoring, obviously, the Michigan church attack and all of these other attacks that we've had over the weekend. We've had quite a few, and but at the end of the day, Trump's delivering, and he's delivering more than any other president has. Just period. I don't care what the detractors say. You can, and I'm not even that huge a Trump fan. I think he fucks up a lot. I think I look at a lot of things that he does, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have done it that way. But I'm not stupid, and I can read and I can understand the world. I can look out and see what's going on. And what's going on is he's fucking winning against everything. Like, imagine if people actually worked with him, right? Just imagine that shit. That'd be fucking awesome. No, he's doing this in spite of everybody else. Fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. We'll talk about the economy really quickly, and then we're going to get into the church shootings and all that other stuff. I promise I'll get there. So if you guys don't understand the stock market right now, I've tried to tell people about this. Basically, where we're at right now is the stock market is at more or less an all-time high. I mean, obviously it fluctuates, but more or less it's all-time high. Other venues, crypto, that sort of thing, they've been up and down, up and down. You could call it a correction. I don't know. I think that Bitcoin and some of the cryptos suffer from confidence issues right now. I could be wrong about that. We'll see. But right now, everything it edged higher today. They're eyeing key data points, AI, reduction in workforce, sales are up to some degree. But we got to watch for volatility. If you are in the market, or if you are watching it just trying to, because your retirement or something's tied up in it, watch for volatility right now. Volatility to me always means I get to make money, or maybe I lose a little bit of money. Mostly I make it. Because the Fed is easing without recession could boost equities, right? And like stocks, right? Q2 GDP revised a roaring 3.8% on consumer spending surge. Now, despite the fact that people are in theory making, or I think in fact, making less money and things cost more, we've had a 3.8% surge in spending. Consumer spending. Consumer spending. Sorry, I forgot. Imports are down, which means that spending is going towards American businesses and American products, which means they hire more people, which means that people make money. Right? I mean, that's just how that works. It's all tied together. However, tariffs and well, hold on, I'm forgetting something here. The tariffs and lower immigration could slow that to 1.8% in 2025. I don't know that I believe that. I don't, but that's an indication. I'm sorry, I'm can't read my writing. Anyway, there are forecasts that look at about 1.7% growth this year. That'll dipping to 1.4% next year. I don't know where they came up with that number. I don't necessarily believe it. I don't think we're going to have a dip in growth next year, especially if the tariffs stay in place. Again, less foreign imports means more American jobs. More American jobs means more American spending, which helps everything. Q4 2025, they're expecting to be 1.2% year over year. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. Inflation is cooling the market, however. So if it continues, it will cool the market further. And we still have the best economy. Europe's really fragile. China, South Asia is strong, but that's on the other side of the world. The S&P should go up, as it normally does. But yeah, I feel like that if you're trading the stock market right now, you just have to be careful that you don't understand that we've got a lot, that we are very highly likely to experience a period of extreme volatility. And now let's get into this. Let's get into the Michigan issue, right? Because I think it's very important. And we all know basically what happened, right? We all understand that about back in June 22nd, the guy Browning, I don't remember his first name, but Brown, and his name's Browning. 31 years old, was a warehouse grunt with a rap sheet, right? Like, this guy had been in and out of not only jail, but also psych holds. He'd been multiple psych holds for schizophrenia. Delusional. His estranged family called him a prophet scorned, is how he viewed himself. Let me rephrase. His family said that he viewed himself as a prophet scorned by fake churches like Crosspoint, which he actually went to, and then he ditched the prosperity gospel that he once bought into. He became he went from one side to the other. What we know about the Crosspoint shooter was that he got into Reddit, Facebook groups, a lot of anti-megachurch memes and purge the liars rants and all of the things. And then one day he broke, and he went down, he rented a truck, he bought an AR-15 legally, he rammed the doors, shot a lot of rounds, loaded, reloaded. He was then rammed by a deacon from the church. And then an armed church guard, shot him in the head. His motive was a very twisted version of Christian nationalism. In his head, he saw himself as God's cleaner. The FBI calls that a grievance collector. 40% of mass shooters are grievance collectors. %40 of these mass shooters take personal beefs and then nurse them and feed them and fan the flames into body counts. Smoking Spaceman, I'm talking about the Crosspoint. That was the first one back in June. We're going to get there. We have a couple more church shootings out there in the U.S. And then yesterday, during service, and I have this guy's name, Thomas Jacob Sanford. This was at the Grand Blanc LDS Chapel. Happened yesterday. Thomas Jacob Sanford was 40 years old, lived in Burton. He was a family man. He was a Marine sergeant, apparently honorably discharged. served in Iraq in 2007. He drove a truck for Coca-Cola, delivering product. He's drowning in medical bills for his son. Son had a rare sugar disorder, I believe a blood disorder similar to diabetes. The home screamed patriot. If you looked at it, you would have thought that he was a true American. He had Trump Vance signs up. He had veteran plates on his vehicle. Hunting picks on the wall. But when you look deeper, when you get past that, what you find is real. It's hard. The guy was drowning in debt for medical bills. He had started a GoFundMe, and nobody gave. Never gained any traction. He made posts bashing woke churches and the LDS as a cult scam specifically. The FBI's working theory right now is it was resentment over zero community aid during his boy's crisis, while his son was sick and suffering. The very people that promised to help didn't help him. And he had a lot of resentment, and that resentment grew. Resentment over zero community aid. So he gets in his truck, he drives it to the church, he rams it in, does a lot of shooting, torched the place with gasoline and 3 pipe bombs that ended up being duds. In 7 minutes, the place was an inferno. 4 dead, 8 wounded, and the chapel is gone. And we have conflicting reports. The press says that the police shot the guy as he fled. Witnesses say that an armed church member stopped the threat. As of now, as I'm sitting here, I don't have any updates. But as of now, we have 4 dead. I think at least 2 children. I hesitate to say this because this guy is obviously, obviously something broke in his brain. He broke down. Shit happened. But this is actually what happens, I think, when people like Steelman out there who talk shit about the churches, who talk shit about everything. They don't know who the fuck they're talking to. There could be a guy in this audience right now, right this minute, that is on the edge, and he is angry. And he's looking for the justification to be bad. And some dumbass out there says, well, you know, churches are only out for themselves. They're corporate monsters, greed. And it's easy enough for some weak-minded motherfucker to latch onto that. I find it irresponsible. I find it reprehensible. Words do have meaning. You don't know who your audience is. It's become very popular to bash Christians, to make them the root of all evil. And I think we're going to find that this guy, not so different than a lot of people we know, that I know. In my life, I've watched people go through a lot. I've watched people go through divorce, going to jail, losing everything in the space of a few weeks or over a course of a year. I'm going to take a break and I'm going to address Mullet Baby's thing here. I've had it up since I started. Witt got the news of the North Carolina shooter at MI church attack. He broke out the leftover Diddy oil he stole from Destiny and Not So Erudite's hotel room on the Progressive Victory Tour over the news. Yes, I'm sure that he was ecstatic because he's a reprobate. So I have a friend of mine. I had a friend of mine. I've told this story before, but it bears repeating. I had a friend of mine who was in Iraq, actually. He was a ranger. I believe he was also Special Forces. I think he was tabbed. I never asked. He was an artist. He did an entire series of paintings called Rough Men. He's a really good dude. I really like that guy. He and I would talk quite a bit, actually. And he got in a bad way. Now, he had a lot of friends that could have helped him. I would have helped him. You know, he's living on a fixed income. He had some things go wrong. Things didn't go right in other ways. He's late on his rent. Can't make his rent. Never says a word about it. Doesn't tell anybody. Puts on a mask. Everything's great. And he got to the point where he's getting evicted. Now, keep in mind, he's got friends that would have stepped up and said, brother, I got you this month. Just get better, man. Just get better. A lot of friends. A lot of people would have helped him. I would have helped him. The sheriff comes to evict him, and he pulls his gun on the sheriff. freaks out. That's a bad thing to do. Tells the sheriff to get off the property. So he barricades him inside his apartment. He starts to realize what he did, where he's at, what he's done, and he doesn't see a way out. So he eats a bullet. He eats a bullet. Takes it out, yeah. The last we know is that he had made a call, and he had told that person that he had pulled his gun on a deputy and forced that deputy off the property and was barricaded. That he knew that what he had done was wrong. And what he lost it. He didn't see a way back. Didn't want to go to jail, didn't want to go to prison, didn't want to lose his gun rights, didn't want any of that. So he ate a bullet. Said, sorry. I never really meant for it to come to this. Put the phone down, ate a bullet. Now, honestly, I find that preferable to shooting up a church. You never know what the guy next to you is going through, right? And I agree with you, Mr. I've been fucking broke as shit. I've never been divorced, but the Raging Patriot, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Some people are broken. And I got to be honest, I've never been in a situation where my kid needed something that I couldn't provide and nobody would help me. Now, I think something broke in the guy's brain. And I think, honestly, that there's a lot of people in this country that say stupid ass shit that feeds into people like these because they're irresponsible. They're irresponsible. It's wrong. But I agree with you. Wicked Wally, you're right. Sadly, the feelings of failure and shame for seeking help are often more overpowering than the situation causing the problem. Absolutely. You're right. We honestly, folks, we have to do better for each other. You may not be able to give somebody money. You may not be able to know the right words to say to ease suffering. But just a, hey, man, really hope it works out for you. And really meaning it could go a long way. You remember that a scene in it's an Adam Sandler movie, right? And it's got what's his name in there, and he's like polishing his gun, and Adam Sandler calls him up and says, hey man, I'm sorry I made fun of you. I was just being a jerk. I was just trying to be popular, or whatever the fuck he says, and hangs up the phone, and the guy scratches his name off the list. It only takes a little Billy Madison. Thank you. It only takes a little bit, guys. It only takes a little bit to be a better person. Now, again, I think what this guy did is horrific. Horrific. It's unconscionable. I'm just trying to understand what takes someone who served their country and pushes them in this direction. Yeah, this is true. When you knock on every door people tell you to knock on and nobody opens up for you, it can be very jarring mentally. You don't know why no one helps because you're asking all the right people. You're saying all the right things. You're doing all the things that people tell you to do, and you're just not getting anywhere. Yeah, that's true. It's true. So I was asked last night when all of this stuff was coming out. We didn't actually know yet a lot of the stuff we now know this morning. And I said, well, yeah, it's probably just some crazy dude, right? It's going to be like the first shooter, the Jacob, or pardon me, the Benjamin Browning, not Benjamin Browning. The Browning guy, you know, the guy who shot up the Cross Point Church. So that guy was insane, schizophrenic. Multiple occasions he was locked up, man. They let him go. On one hand, you got a guy who is literally insane, walk around on the streets. He goes in, shoots up a church, kills kids. And on the other side of it, you have a man who served his country, did everything that they told him to do, did everything right. Did everything he was supposed to do. He's watching his kids suffer every day. Can't pay for it. And he just snaps. I'm a relatively sane individual, but I don't know what I would do if I was powerless to help my son. If I had to watch my son suffer and there were people that could help them but just didn't care enough to. I don't want to know what I would do in that situation. I don't think I'm really going to talk too much about this over the next few weeks, because I see these as two very different things. But I see that both of them as a failure of society. The first shooting should never have happened. That man should have been committed. That man should have been in a hospital somewhere getting some kind of help. The second man should have had help for his son. The churches should do what churches do to help people. I'm actually shocked that the LDS did not help him. My experiences with the LDS have been relatively positive. I can't explain why. Maybe they didn't know. I don't know. Maybe he never asked them. Don't know. But I probably won't talk on this very much. I think that this is... I think I've just about said all I can say about it. For now. Are these both mental health? Fuck. Are both of these instances mental health issues? Yes, absolutely. But society failed both of those men. And society failed society. We want to talk about giveaway programs. Leftists always want to argue about, you know, better health care, better this, better that, better what the fuck ever. But when the rubber hits the road, you guys, they just want to give away shit. They don't actually want to help anybody. I mean, they may say they do, but the people they put in charge of it don't. Let me see what Anson's saying here. Victim mentality is normal among vets and Skittles because our culture gives them prideful conceit. Let's think about that. Is it bad for us to treat them like they are it is bad for us to treat them like they're special. Honestly, absolutely. I feel like that's true. Left and right wing protected classes are bad. Sure. Anson, I don't disagree with that. However, what I would say is, or what I feel like I'm saying is that I don't care that the guy served his country, to be honest with you. He was a father who needed help for his son, and he didn't get it. And as a father myself, I don't know how much of a mind fuck it would be for me if I needed help for my son and no one helped me. So while I agree with you, I don't think it applies here. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to talk too much about this over the next few weeks, unless something really different comes back. Sure, Anson, you're not owed help. It doesn't give you the right to commit acts of mayhem. Sure, absolutely. However, while not being owed help, if someone says, we help everybody, we're going to help you, and they don't help you, that could be very frustrating. Never Lucky Rubber Ducky says, currently going through that with my father right now. The VA fucked him, killed his kidney by giving him the wrong medication. Ouch, it sucks. Which snowballed into him losing a leg. Ouch. And talking about taking the other. Yikes. Yikes. Look, there's no good in this story. There's no good. Society failed that man by not helping him and his child. Society failed both of them. The man failed society because he didn't suck it up and drive on and keep trying. The church may or may not have failed to help him in his time of need, which is what they're supposed to do. There's no win here. 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 There's no w Nobody did the right thing. Everybody fucking loses. The people in that church certainly did not deserve to be shot or burned to death. This is a rough one. I ain't gonna lie. This is rough. And while I agree with, obviously, Anson, I agree with you because I don't believe in, I don't actually believe in handouts per se. But again, I don't know what I would do. Now, me personally, probably I would just buck up and make shit happen and not ask for help and all of that. But I'm not everyone. I will say that, and I don't know that people know this about me, and I say this all the time in my private life. I don't know if I've said it here. My personality is such that I will give you the shirt off my back if I think that you need it more than me. Okay? That's the way I was raised. That's the way I am. Somebody really needs help and I can help them. I consider it my responsibility to help them. Part of that is I have a very unique outlook in that I honestly believe that no matter what, I can always recover. Whatever I've had nothing, and so I know I can come back from nothing. Not everyone's like me. And we don't know. The guy may have been severely fucked in the head. I don't know. I just know what we know currently, and what we know currently is a tragedy on all sides. On all sides. And make no mistake, I don't believe that it's a rational thing to do to drive your truck into a building and then start shooting at people. That's not rational. That's not how we solve problems. That's not how I solve problems. The monologue went a little long today, guys. I'm not really sure if people understand I'm not really sure how much more I want to get into today. Probably open the panel up in a minute. We'll get some people up here and do some chatting back and forth. Last thing I want to do is I want to talk about why the left has been becoming increasingly violent. I know. You guys don't think that the left can get any more violent, but yet they are, in fact, getting more and more violent. If you ever need a wake-up slap, it's this. CSIS just dropped the bomb, left-wing terror plots and hits in 2025 on pace for a 30-year peak. 30-year peak. Flipping the script on the so-called right-wing dominance for the first time since 95. Obviously, it's not real right-wing dominance because obviously most of the time when they use those stats, they're conflating and attributing things as right-wing violence, which aren't actually right-wing. A lot of attacks already. Obviously, Kirk, ICE agents have been ambushed in Texas twice. Plots against Musk factories, people damaging Teslas. People. I think somebody actually burned a Tesla to the ground. And apparently, there's whispers that some of the firebombing runs are attributed to Antifa. We have 40 plus dead, 200 plus wounded, and these aren't protests, folks. These aren't protests. So why, you ask, the surge? Why are the left getting increasingly violent? Well, you can blame the bunker mentality, right? Trump's back in the saddle. Vance owns the VP slot, owns that bitch. And the left is just losing the culture war, left and right. More young people identify as conservative than any time in recent history. SCOTUS has gutted law after law that the Dems really relied on. We've had wins on the border. The economy is humming along despite their build back broke mantra, by the way. Rhetoric has been the fuse. Pelosi's fascist fever dreams, AOC's burn it down vibes, Biden's ghost whispering, threat to democracy. And we still hear that at every rally. It normalizes going to the knife, right? Kirk's killer has cited the MAGA menace in his in a manifesto scrap. Like, what the fuck? The Texas shooter screamed, "Deport the invaders" at Fed vans, which I'm assuming he's one of those people that believes that, we're colonizers. We're all colonizers. The stats don't lie. Far left incidents are up over 8 times year to date over there. And now keep in mind, this is over the heavily doctored incidents from the past. Like, they don't, just that they don't admit to. And Fetterman himself, ditching the nacho slurs amid Pennsylvania's red tilt. And I think that's what's behind all of this leftist increase in violence. I also think that they've been emboldened by by having the left in key positions so long, not allowing people to deal with them. And sure, I do think they're paid to be this way. If you want the link, I'm going to drop the link in the mod chat, so you will be able to go over to the Discord and ask the moderators for the link in the waiting room. You do have to go to the waiting room, and the mods, the link is currently posted. Just did it. And we can get some people come up and do a panel, or I can just monologue this whole bitch out. I have the opportunity tonight to debate on Prime Kai's, which I don't know that I will be able to do. I think I have some things to do, but the topic will be America is suffering through its regularly scheduled mass gun violence. Anyway, on Saturday in Iraq, war veteran opened fire at a waterfront bar from a boat. at least 3 are dead. On Sunday, a church in Michigan was shot up and burned down by another Iraqi veteran. At least 4 are dead. Does the U.S. take the mental health care of its soldiers seriously? No. What does it mean to properly care for them? I have no idea. We can get into that. When, if ever, should people showing signs of instability be disarmed to avoid these tragedies? So I can debate that tonight. I don't know that I will. I don't want it to turn into just another gun debate because that's boring. Very old. Gets old quick. I know, right? Prime's topics are always TDS Season 6, Episode 207. That's for sure. Absolutely. 100%. A lot of people were, talking in the chat, and now you have the opportunity to come up here and talk, and we can go back and forth, or I can agree with you, whatever. I do have a phone call with Modern Day Debate James today, so I will be ending probably about 10 minutes early so I can prep. Hello, Beth. How are you?
Hey, good to see you, Greg.
Good to see you.
Thank you, Mr. for the link. It's so weird. When it comes through on Discord, I always forget to look at my actual messages for what's coming through. I'm getting used to it.
Yeah. I don't have music in my waiting room, Tootie Bug. I'm sorry. Probably should.
What are we talking about here? Are we talking more about the societal issues? Because, boy, I've seen a lot of that this week.
I mean, I can talk about whatever you want to.
It's your show, homie.
I mean, there are a lot of societal issues, and I think a lot of them are. A lot of them are kind of self-inflicted.
I can agree with that.
This last one's got me, man, because the two, and I just don't know what's going on in Michigan, but it seems like that we obviously have a mental health issue because we had the guy down, I think it was in Florida, that killed somebody, and then he was obviously insane. Had been not in Florida, it's North Carolina, right? So the North Carolina guy on the train killed that poor Ukrainian immigrant for no damn good reason. That guy should have been locked up. Obviously, same week, the 19-year-old prostitute was killed by an illegal immigrant who also should have been locked up, should not have even been able to do that, and he killed her, threw her body off a bridge in Virginia.
Oh,
God. We've really got to get so it's one thing, right? Like, so to me, there's a huge difference between knowing that somebody is unstable and has problems. Maybe they're getting the treatment, maybe they're not. But maybe, but in each of the cases that I named, those people should have been in custody, but they weren't because the legal system let them go, or, some social worker somewhere decided that, that it would be too tough on them to go to prison or jail or what the fuck ever.
I'm seeing a lot of that. You know what else is happening around here? Sorry, did you freeze? Okay, no, you didn't. What else?
No, I can sit really still.
We have a lot of people who are in this country illegally that when they're arrested, the courts are sneaking them out and releasing them before ICE can get there to get a hold of them. So they're having to do a lot of snag and grabs on the streets where I live.
Yeah.
We drove by one. It was kind of surprising.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's another thing, you know, like one of the things that in importing all of those illegals into New York City did is these gangs, they're called it's scooter theft, right? So what they do is they follow women, and then if they see them put their phone in their purse, they'll drive by and steal the purse, get the phone, and the New York City police chief said that within 30 minutes, they've taken the phone to somebody that cracks it and turns off all of the GPS stuff, and so they can't use location to find it. Then it's taken to another place where it's boxed up and shipped to Venezuela or other foreign countries. It's literally, it does, once it's stolen, it doesn't spend 24 hours in the US. And they're stealing hundreds, or they were stealing hundreds of phones. Now, I think that they've kind of gotten a little bit of a handle on that, especially since they closed down the Roosevelt Hotel and everything else where they were keeping all of these immigrants. But it's only going to get worse. I agree with Mr. Zoran Mamdani, whatever fuck, wins mayor. They're going to, it's going to be basically a Islam-funded New York City, which will be really interesting because on the one hand, since I don't live there, I want to see it happen. I actually really want to see the. I actually kind of want to see it happen. I really want to see, and actually, I hope they're fundamentalist, right? Like, I actually hope that they're like, is your cat bugging you?
Yeah, she likes this chair in here, so she's being a pain in the ass. Say hi, Brett.
Yeah, so I kind of want to see it happen because I want to see them outlaw prostitution completely and actually go after the prostitutes. I want to see them outlaw drug dealing and start like cutting hands off drug dealers and shit. I mean
that could be cool.
But. I mean, okay, it sucks, but I kind of want and it's a reap what you sow sort of thing. And I'm kind of like, you know what, you guys fucked around. Now let's find out. Let's find out what happens, right? Like you had Giuliani, you could have had Giuliani, you could have had you could have had a version of Giuliani. No, you didn't. So you're gonna get, life's gonna suck. I kind of hope he does because obviously he'll get voted out. So there's only a limited amount of shit that he can do, but in one term. But still, he'll probably make those the current Muslim police. Actual police. He'll probably give them powers of arrest and shit. We'll see OnlyFans girls getting shut down. We'll see. I mean, honestly, like.
But here's the problem: is I don't think they would jump straight to the extremes right away because they need to win over more of the U.S. to get more control over more cities, right? So, like where I am. It's actually a sanctuary city, just 15 minutes down the road from me. And we're already, we're having massive issues when it comes down to, the college has now lost its federal funding due to pro-Palestine protests. Jewish people within the community are being attacked on the streets and in stores and everywhere. Like I said, they're actually helping people escape ICE, and it's a free for all. They just finally, so they defunded the police down there several years ago, and it got bad. Like immediately, it was dry. Like even still now, like if there's a high speed chase, they're not allowed to pursue.
Right. A lot of police forces are like that because of the risk to the public.
Yeah,
unless it's a danger to the public, like they're shooting out of the car or something like that.
Oh yeah, well that's the problem is they are. And now it's gotten so bad that now they're like, well, maybe we need to refund the police. But it's like too little too late. And what was once a really nice city that was a lot of hippies is completely destroyed. My daughter.
Well, I hope that they just go full Sharia, man, and just so the hippies get a taste of what it's really like and shit. Yeah, I don't need a new shirt, but yeah, send in the donos, guys. I'll put the money towards to good use. That's what I do. This shirt's actually 25 years old.
This man's working. Hey, that way. This man's working. Pay him.
Yeah. This shirt's actually 25 years old. I got this shirt in 2000.
I have a question. When it comes down to helping people within the communities, like being right wing and capitalist and all of that, where do you think a lot of them draw the line at helping people? Because I've heard some people who are right wing be completely like, there should be no Social Security. There should be no, like they want to cut off everything. And, survival of the fittest, essentially.
So I'm actually one of those that believes in cutting off everything. I think that on a federal level, I think that your state, your city, and county, and your church should be the people that you go to for help because they know you, right? And so it's an interesting dynamic because on the one hand, Social Security was a good idea. Basically you're paying into a retirement fund and you get it. And it's a state sponsored retirement fund in theory, but it's not that. It became more than that. It became where if you were 18 years old and your dad, or if you're 15 years old and your dad dies and you can't support yourself, and or you have a health issue, well, now you're getting Social Security that you've never fucking paid into.
Fair.
And you never pay into it, right? Because once people get onto those kind of trains, they don't go to work, they don't do things like they should.
Yeah,
and there's always some doctor somewhere that'll say, yeah, probably shouldn't go back to work or whatever. And yeah, Stephen Akari's right. It wasn't a retirement fund when it started. It was for those who live longer than normal. Sure, absolutely. But we've lost sight. My opinion is we've lost sight of what made America truly great to begin with. And that was that people helped people, and there was a sense of community and a sense of family everywhere you went, right? Like, it's interesting that so many people that come down from the north say, wow, it's such a sense of community here. And I'm like, yeah, but you literally live where everybody on your block because you see them every fucking day, and you literally can't take a piss without your neighbor offering to hold it for you because that's how close you live. How do you not have a sense of community? How do you not have a sense of value of what's going on with people? I mean, I've been to cities, I get it to some degree, but at the same time, this is dumb. This is bullshit. Like, and I'm tired of hearing them complain. I agree with Angel Berber here. Mamdani winning would be another huge indictment, huge, folks, huge, of the Democrat Party. It would give some vindication to the McCarthy era, abso-fucking-lutely, and why we should have maintained it to a certain degree. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I'm much more, I don't believe that. So I don't think Social Security should exist. I'll go on record as saying that. I think that one of the things it really does is it gives people a false sense of I don't give a fuck that they shouldn't have.
I can agree with that.
Where they say, well, I don't really have to plan for retirement because I have Social Security. And I'll get that $1,000 or $1,200 a month, and I'll just live really cheaply and blah, blah. I actually hear people say that dumbass shit.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I know. I take a lot of issue with people who abuse that system.
Yeah. And there's a guy local to me. He's a fisherman. And we actually took him out on my boat once. And I think maybe he drinks a little bit, maybe a little bit too much. I don't know. But he rants all the time about how he doesn't have money. He can't get a job. He lives on like $1,500 a month and all of this. And everything was great when his mom was alive because he lived at his mom's house. And I mean, this is a guy in his like 50s or so, right? Then his mom passed and the house went into probate, and obviously all of his siblings wanted to sell the house. So they're selling the house, and he doesn't have any way of stopping that. So now he's got to find somewhere to live. But he's literally gotten used to living on $1,500 a month or whatever Social Security pays him. And now he's like, I can't fucking survive. And I'm like, well, yeah, you shouldn't have been trying to survive on this. You should have had a job. You should have done something more.
What's wrong with him that he gets it?
He has some health issues, but he's still functional. I think he has like some vision issues, and he has like he's erratic, right? He may have some minor mental issues too, but he supposedly was an electrician. He says he can't work anymore. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So, but the point is that he just doesn't even try. And that's actually something that really pisses me off. So I knew a blind guy who worked at the fishing store that I used to go to, the tackle store. And he could help you. He knew where everything was on the walls. He had his little stick. He could walk around and he'd go, okay, here's this. You'd say, hey, Mike, where's this? And he'd be like, yeah, it's right over there, third aisle over. And he actually worked there. And he had the seeing eye dog, the whole thing. Like he couldn't watch. I mean, he was a blind guy, and he could have been like, "Yeah, I'm just going to live off Social Security. I'll just make do with what I can get." But he didn't. He had a job. Now, was he gonna retire a millionaire? Fuck no.
No. Yeah.
Right.
But at least he was doing something.
Yeah, he was doing something. And he had a job. He was gainfully employed. Was he making a lot of money? Probably not, But it bothers the shit out of me. That people have something that's challenging and they just roll into it. My aunt, my mom's sister, actually did the doctor shopping thing to get a diagnosis of seizures.
Wow.
And so that she didn't have to work, so that she could be on disability.
My younger sister did the same thing for a lower back issue. And then after she got Social Security, she had 3 children. Mm-hmm. Being pregnant and giving birth and all that with a lower back issue, if it's that bad that you need Social Security, you sure as fuck are not having kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's
it blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean there's a content creator out here right now in our space that has that never appears on camera, or very rarely appears on camera, because they have I think it's called spina bifida, or the curved spine.
Yep.
And so they don't work, and they try and act like something they aren't. I just happen to know that they that they have spina bifida, and that's why they never
bifida's
ham
a
up.
bad one. That one's
Yeah.
a rough one. You know, kudos to them for trying to do something. You know, even if it's just streaming and, you know, not appearing, but, you know, trying to do something.
Sure. I'm going to remind the chat that it is now an open panel. If you want to come up and chat, feel free to do so.
I don't bite hard.
So,
you know, it's interesting though, Grid, because you're talking about how, you know, the smaller communities tend to have that sense of community. I'm seeing more and more, because I live in a small community like that, you know, where, you know, we had a fire where almost a whole block burned down this past winter, and the whole community came together to try to do whatever they could. But boy, it fell off really, really fast. And then I'm seeing more and more like people aren't so willing to help. People aren't even so willing to be nice to one another anymore. And I think it's a matter of people in our country are so goddamn miserable. It doesn't matter where you are anymore. People are losing that ability to care about one another in that communal sense.
Well, I think that there is a very specific generational thing. And they had it so good. They never had to struggle. They never had to think. They never had to work really hard. Things came very easily. Their parents made sure. And it's a struggle for them if they don't have Nike shoes, or they don't have they're on the fucking struggle bus if they can't have Starbucks every day, right? Like that's a real fucking thing.
I know it is. It drives me insane.
And Leroy's right. They're fucking spoiled as shit. And I don't really give a shit. Like I don't care. And I know that I like Kel the other night. I'm talking to Kel just like I talk to anybody else, and she gets all mad. And I'm like, you can get mad, but I don't change the way I talk to people unless there's a reason to change that way. Now, if you tell me, hey, I'm a shrinking violet and I'm going to cry if you talk to me like I'm a human being, then I'll talk to you like a puppy dog. You know, I'd talk to my dog like that.
Give it a little schmoozy.
Yeah, it's so cute, fluffy.
No, you know? I get exactly what you're saying. And I'm not saying that everybody actually has a legitimate reason to be miserable. I think it's just become this thing of, you know, it's not even just that. I think that, not just.
How can we be miserable?
Not having the best. What?
How can we be miserable in life?
I know.
At this point in time, there are not people currently in the United States of America that are going to go out and kill the last chicken and make that chicken last a week of meals.
I agree with you.
There's literally nobody in America right now that is hungry that has the least amount of effort to put into going to go get food.
I agree with you completely. I think where it's coming from is
this is dumb. Why are you depressed? I know.
I think it's coming from the rhetoric.
Breaks my brain.
I think it's coming from the rhetoric on,
sure.
You know, really.
Well, that's what I was talking about with the churches, right? Like people like Steelman will sit there all day and talk about how bad the churches are and how they don't believe, you know, that he doesn't believe in them and they're scams and all of this. And he's just like, he doesn't give a shit. He's in his own little fucking world. He you know, he's high half the time. But somebody else that's hurting could hear that or does hear that, and then it becomes a problem.
Yeah, it shuts the door.
Right? We are very irresponsible with the way we talk.
Yes, we are. And that is, I think, what's really leading a lot of it. And it's like I said in the chat, yes, some churches fail sometimes. They're human beings. They're going.
Yeah, I mean, look,
people are going to fail.
God is perfect. Churches are not.
Of course. But it's not a reason to shut them all down, because the community itself, just even the coming together and being together and sharing the faith together is actually so damn important. And the problem is, and I think we really saw it take hold during the lockdown, is where we got so separated from one another. And now everybody just wants to stay in their little hole, and the sense of community, that everybody's just miserable because that's all they hear, left and right. The left is miserable for a billion fucking reasons, and they want to destroy everything.
Well, the left has to look for reasons to be miserable.
Yeah.
No, seriously, they're angry about something that happened 100 fucking years ago.
I know.
Right? Like, what? I like to read about that shit. I'm not angry about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it happened, and in all actuality, we should pay attention to what happened 100 years ago so that we don't do it again. But
there's a term for this condition. I'm not going to bother to remember what it is, but there's a term for this condition where people have it so good that they look for ways to be miserable. They look for things to be offended about.
It's pessimistic or well, it has to do with pessimism. Yeah, pessimism. Thank you. I had it. But I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it either. It's not hypochondriac, but it's similar. Fine. I mean, hypochondriac is a very similar issue that we see a lot.
They're doing that too. They're doing that too.
There's something wrong with them all the time. And it's like,
well, now I will tell you that parents have fed into this because they tell their kid, that everything has to be perfect. Everything's going to be perfect. And then when the kid cries, they do everything they can. I literally told my son the other day, I don't care if you cry.
Yep. That's how.
I literally told my 4-year-old the other day that he's too old to be crying and he's a crybaby and needs to stop.
My mom was a hypochondriac, and my mom treated my sister and I very, very differently. With my sister, my sister slept in the same bed as my mom till she was like 13 years old.
I have a friend of mine who's doing the same thing.
Till she was 13. Me, I had to walk to school by myself in kindergarten, and it was like almost a whole mile there. And we lived in a pretty dangerous city. My mom left me home alone all the time. Oh, you're hungry? Get your own food. But my sister, if she coughed, it was crazy. Yeah. I'm grateful I was raised the way that I was, and not because my sister now, she's a waste, a complete waste, and a drain on society. Yeah.
Nuxus, good to see you, man. Glad you dropped by. I think I've had a pretty good show today. I started off with Ray, slamming Ryan the Radical Coper into the dirt, and I've kind of moved on from there. If you guys missed that, it might be pretty funny. I don't know.
I think I need to watch it.
Also, I saw something from combusting. Combusting cosmonaut? Instead of the smoking spaceman, he's the combusting cosmonaut. Yeah. Said, don't come down to the South. Where are you at in the South? Or is that another Anson Knowles troll account? I can't, he has so many. Can't keep them straight.
Which one? What's
combusting
the name?
cosmonaut.
I think that's Anson.
So, but Kissy Cat, welcome to the chat. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Welcome, Vibe. I see you came in. Welcome to everyone. It is an Anson troll account. Okay, that makes sense. He doesn't want anybody back in Alabama. So welcome, Vibe. Good to see it. But yeah, I mean, look. I've been to bad churches. I've been to churches where the people were closed off, that weren't welcoming, right?
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. And you know what? Hey, man, if that's their sauce, let them have it. I don't care. And I actually think that that's a huge problem that a lot of people have, is the ability to say, yeah, I don't care, and really mean it. Like, actually mean it. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So my wife hates it when I say that, by the way. I'll say I don't care, and she's like, why don't you care? You're supposed to care. And I'm like, I don't care.
I saw a thing that had me cracking up. It was like the 5 most dangerous things that a woman or your wife can say. And like the number 1 thing was like, go ahead, or I don't care. Some of them.
Yeah, it really bugs my wife when I say I don't care. She's like, you have to care. And I'm like, I really have to.
Lord.
I can be 100% neutral. I promise you.
Yeah. It boggles my mind a lot, but I don't know. I'm different. I grew up around a bunch of boys. Like I said, my mom kind of pushed me out of the house, and I went out and just,
Well, I think it's interesting. I do think it's interesting the way people are growing up and in different areas and whatnot. It's really kind of bothersome, to be honest with you. And we have so many people have it so good and do not appreciate it.
Yeah, no, they don't.
That, like I'm like, I really hope that I don't telegraph that out, but like, I'm around a lot of people who, like, they just, like, they've done well, and it's just the way they act is very strange to me. And and look, I know that what I do is not normal, right? Like, I understand it. Most people don't. Like, I'm going to literally, like, my day tomorrow consists of me going to the golf course. I'm going to play 18 holes, and I'm going to probably hang out in the clubhouse for a little while and just, kind of hang out, meet people and network and shit. And then I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. Most people don't have that ability. I'm very well aware of that. And I generically don't bother talking about it. But on the other side of it, there are people who kind of rub it into people's faces, or they make a big deal about it because and look, if you came from nothing and you made a big deal, made something of yourself, then take a pat on the back once in a while.
Yes.
If you just followed the script, you went to college, you became a tech guy, you made some stock investments, and now you're doing okay, just have a little humility and just admit that you're doing okay, right? Like, maybe don't jump right into the Ferrari,
Here's the interesting thing too, is that in my opinion anyways, I think that we're, like, for some wild reason, like technology to get knocked down, I think there'd be a whole lot of the population that could not fucking make it because they don't know how to do anything for themselves. They've never actually done anything for themselves. And that would be the point when they realize just how good they actually had it.
Emmett, what's up, my man?
How you guys doing? How's everything going?
We're rocking out, man. We're rocking out.
How are you, buddy? That song for Grumple's next karaoke night.
Everybody's been saying that. They just want to go on and jam it out. I hope you actually go there, and that Grumple can actually get his information back sometimes.
That bird is very excited.
They hear me talk and they think I'm talking to them. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've got friends.
God, people are talking. We need to talk.
Yes. They're always trying to talk over you.
Yeah.
They must be
female panel members. They are female birds.
You know what's interesting is usually, or well, at least with cockatiels anyways, the males are the ones that are usually noisier. I think it's that way with several different breeds of birds. But
that's because the males get the better plumage.
Emmett just had to get the breed of bird that has the yappy females.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't get him. They were kind of a gift, okay? Kind of.
Yeah.
That's why.
Emmett, I sent you something the other day. Did you get it?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, good.
I did.
Yeah, by the way, Emmett, awesome fucking clips, dude. You were rocking it out with those. I'm loving them.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm working on the. I'm making a custom for the panel, like a custom miniature for the panel. Let's see if it actually works on this Wednesday. What time are you planning to, so I can tell people what time, Grid?
That's cool. Hey man, whatever you do, man, that helps out. I'm down.
No, but I mean, what time do you think you're gonna run the panel if you run it?
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do that stupid Prime Kai's panel tonight. I may be
the one on Wednesday.
Wednesday? Oh, to be same 8 o'clock, same as always.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock
Eastern.
Sarah said yes. She's in 100%.
Have you asked Kale?
I messaged her. She has not responded. But she's not really like. Maybe she responded. Let me look.
So what is this panel on Wednesday about? I've missed this information. I apologize.
Negative response. But she might have been like 10 White Claws deep, so you never know.
This is about. Let me just one second. Let me see.
Are women responsible for the dating crisis?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I think it's an all-female panel.
No. Is the panel that I'm thinking of is Kat, Sarah, and Kel, you, Cleaner, and Abe.
Oh, Abe. Okay. Yeah. So Sarah the Tomato, Kel. Who else? Oh, Kissy Cat.
Kissy Cat.
Yeah. Cleaner, me, and who?
Abe Dinkus.
Abe Dinkus. All right.
And it's about the dating crisis?
Am I the moderator in this deal, or?
You're a panelist.
I'm a panelist.
It's your channel, so still you can decide what to do and what not to do, right?
Yeah. Well, I think, 3 women on 2 men is probably fair.
Hello?
As long as they keep half their brains tied behind their back. Fine.
I don't know. I wouldn't underestimate the.
Sarah's pretty based. It's going to be everyone against me.
Grid. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So anyway, what's up, Emmett? You came up, man. What else is up?
Yeah, I just want to know the time, so I can tell them at what time, and yeah, I don't know. It's been an interesting week, and it just started.
Yeah, well, is that you getting calls, Emmett? Jesus.
Yes, it's me. Just a second.
Oh,
He's very popular.
He is.
Hello?
Yeah. No, I think things. Emmett, you forgot to mute the stream. We can hear you talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'll mute him.
Oh, I was gonna be nosy. Yeah, no, I think that overall that I hate to say the tone of our country kind of needs to change.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that there's I think we're so much us against them in everything. It's men against women. It's Christian versus non-Christian. It's Islam versus everybody. It's
right.
It's just we're all, and You know, there's no grace anymore, man. That's the big thing. Is like there's just no grace.
Yeah. And it's wild too, because I'm seeing it, firsthand. I'm seeing it extend now towards children, even, where it's like, I think that's why I said I feel like from watching people, it's like everyone is so miserable, and for no good reason, really. I mean, it's like you woke up this morning, right? You got air in your lungs. You can move, you can think, you can speak, you can see. What the fuck are you so miserable about? But they are. And I think a lot of it's coming from the rhetoric.
I think it's fucking hilarious that in this day and age, people that are literally screaming at the top of their lungs say they have no voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's something else. And when it expands to the kids, that that's when we're really, really, going down. Sorry, my kid just got home from school, so Alaska's excited. But yeah, I think that even if we saw one change, like in one area of it, it would be easier for it to spread. It's just got to start somewhere.
Yeah. It is like that confluence. It's like that Matt Walsh video where the trans protesters have tape over their mouths and he invites them to the mic and they refuse. Like, what?
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah. So were you here when on Monday night pardon me, not Monday night, Saturday night when my son cut his hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
I've done that before, but I've also accidentally touched the wood burner when I was a kid. That wasn't fun. That wasn't fun at all. But I learned a lesson.
Yeah.
And good on your son for knowing, how to take care of it. And,
yeah. I mean, that was again, my wife didn't even know he had done it. He had that, and he did a really bad job of wrapping it and everything. But he's doing it on himself. He's doesn't want to get caught. And of course, my wife freaks out, and she's ready to take him to the emergency room to get stitches. And I'm like, you can be there like a while. I wouldn't do that. And so the first time I went in there, I just was like, yeah, I looked at it. Yep, he's got it wrapped. I mean, it's ugly, but it'll work. And then I came back out here, and then she called me again. And so I'm just going to take him to the emergency room. I'm like, just wait a minute, I'll be in. And so I went in, and then I took care of it. And the doctor was, I think the thing is that my wife and I both went to the urgent care the next morning. Doctor's like, yep, no, you did great. It's awesome. This looks great. Perfect. And I did a pretty good job, but so I think my wife actually kind of, I think my wife just
panicked.
Was really unsure because she doesn't do anything like that.
Well, that's the thing is you gave excellent advice on, people at least learning how to do the basic stuff. And I used to work EMS at the music festivals here when they were going on, in addition to my jobs mainly with hospice and at the hospital. And the number one thing anybody should learn how to do is how to butterfly a cut close.
It's really. I told my son to use the butterfly closures and to get it, and he's like, he didn't know how, so he didn't clean off enough of the blood, so they didn't stick. So I had to redo it. And I did that clot because that stuff's just amazing. Honestly, look, if you guys have children and people get cut and things like that, trust me, quick clot is your friend. I wouldn't normally use it on small cuts, but knuckle cuts, slicing the inside of your finger or something like that, places where it just doesn't like to heal. or stick together, you can use a quick clot and a knuckle bandage, and it's done.
So,
and so I went and I cleaned it up and I used the quick clot, and I'm like, this might sting because it was the new stuff. It wasn't the old stuff. The old stuff would have like burned, but the new stuff doesn't burn. And so he got lucky. And the nurse the next morning was like, where did you get quick clot from? And I'm like, I don't know. I got it probably from Sportsman's or somewhere, but I have stuff. I got a lot of stuff. But $5 came in from Angel Berber. We have had a period like this before. The Bleeding Kansas period is when we saw this kind of violence. It's true. Southern economics versus Northern cultural views. Absolutely, 100%. That is shockingly accurate. And then my man, Agrilopolis, gifted 10 memberships. What a Chad. That is Chad. I'm trying to get on whatever, by the way. We'll talk about all that here in a minute.
sorry.
$25 came in from Agrilopolis with no note, just for the good of the show. Thank you, sir. Super glue intensifies. Yeah, absolutely.
Super glue. So last winter, I was breaking down some wood for some kindling, and I caught myself right on this knuckle at the bottom of my thumb with the hatchet. And I got it all the way to the bone. Like, and that's my thing. Okay, so I can deal with everybody else's boo-boos just fine. When I'm hurt, if I look at it, I might pass out. So my son had the privilege of learning how to butterfly it closed and how to deal with all that. And, super glue was my best friend with that one because.
Yeah, so there's a couple things with super glue. If it's too deep a cut or a puncture wound, you have to make sure you get it really clean, or you can get infection. Liquid skin is the same way. Liquid skin is the only time I've had real issues with infection, because it'll trap whatever dirt or whatever is under there, and if you don't get it, it's going to get infected. And the way liquid skin and super glue work, there's no air there or anything gets to it, so it can be interesting. But I've done a lot of super glue. Super glue is my friend. I have a lot of super glue.
Me too.
So yeah, super glue intensifies, says my buddy Grumple Stillskin right there, says that. And Kissy Cat, I'm actually curious what your position is, because I wasn't really paying attention to chat the other night. Emmett is the one that kind of got me into the to do the panel.
Yeah, it's my fault. It's my fault, Greed.
It is. Emmett's like, hey, can we do this? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. What are we talking about? And he actually had to send me the prompt. So what is your position? You say you're firm in your position, but with an open mind. So I'm curious.
Firm with an open mind is that okay? Yeah. Kissy Cat, why don't you come up and explain it?
No, she might be.
Well, that's for the panel, Beth.
Honestly, I'm just curious.
If you want to know
okay, fine.
If you want to know it, you're gonna have to tune in.
Tune
and then you're gonna have
in.
to watch the
Turn
clip,
it up.
and then you're gonna have to watch the video. And
Okay.
if you want to know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We don't want Kat giving away the her secrets to the enemy, right?
No secret sauce.
Ghost 1978, 17 stitches on the inside. Oof, that's rough. And seeing your muscle spread apart is not cool. Just saying. Elder Lion got a membership. That's rad.
Yeah, when they did my neck surgery and they slit my throat, they did the stitches on the inside, the dissolvable ones, and then glued the outside. They did a great job. Like, you can only see certain parts of the cut line because of where they placed it and everything. But holy cow, was I freaking out over that. At first I was doing fine, then my mom made a horrible joke about like my head falling. Be careful so your head doesn't fall off or something. And I was still highly medicated when the joke was made, and that was not good timing.
So Kel has responded. Kel has responded that she is a little politisphered out for a bit. Thanks for the offer, though. So, sorry. No Kel.
I'll think of someone else, I guess.
I'm sorry?
I guess I'll think of someone else. I don't know.
He'll fix it.
I mean, you can work on Kel. You can be like, Kel, come on.
Oh, you think Cal would talk to Emmett?
Jesus Christ, no.
Oh, right. She doesn't like. Well, I don't even know. Why.
There was a whole stream about how much he hates me yesterday. Yeah, no.
We were on the stream talking about Charlie Kirk, and she was on, and the second Emmett came up, she said nothing. She just left.
Right. Yeah, that's happened here several times. Kel hasn't recovered from her spanking. When did she get spanked?
Well, according to what I saw yesterday and people in chat, I was just so out of line with her by asking some questions that she didn't like that I had to be DNI'd. And in a sense, I agree. Like I'm not a professional. Like I've been doing this for a month or two, right? But yeah, it's what it is.
I didn't think it was that bad. I thought, if anything, like, I don't know. I think she had the room to speak on it however she wanted to, and I was kind of confused as to how it blew up so badly, so fast. And I think the worst thing he did was laugh. But I tend to do that too when I'm in a spot.
I don't know. Since I'm, according to what I heard yesterday, when I said that I was not looking for a partner at all, that means that I'm gay. I'm not entirely sure. But the whole point is, I agree. Like I do agree with what she said. Like it was not a great interview on my end. I will try to do better on my end. Not saying that's bad. I wasn't trying to attack her. If that was her idea of like I'm so bad faith and I'm so evil. I wanted just to make fun of her.
Who did you
like the idea.
Who did you interview that called you bad faith?
Kel.
Kel.
Oh, really?
I interviewed Paige about their debate, and I wanted to have her on to ask her questions about that debate. And I started asking questions about that debate, and she didn't really like the questions I was asking. So I started moving a little bit away from those and making some more general questions about her, and she didn't like those either. And then I started asking the question about her trouble thing because I thought it was interesting. She might want to talk about it, and she didn't like that one either. And as apparently those are 3 strikes, and I am out.
Well, it was kind of strange because some of it, didn't she bring up some of it, and you were just kind of like, well, since you brought it up, do you want to tell us about it? And she like really had a weird reaction. I thought it was very strange. Like I got the sense she was pissed off at you before the interview even started. I mean,
well, I've for example, I know she's in question of content. It's very easy to get like good clips with her. So, for example, last time she was on, I didn't came up because why would I? I'm trying to get good content, right? So yeah, I don't know. It's but I wasn't trying to be like she. I wasn't even trying to get her on. Like I sent a couple of messages. It was like, hey, you want to come up? And
why doesn't she blow up at Grid for the camera video? That's what I'd like to know.
I don't know. I got a couple of her. I have the one of her falling down the escalator somewhere.
Yeah, that looked so. Oh man,
that one's not as funny to me. Vibe, why would you want Ryan on a panel? That's like insanity.
He actually kind of behaves himself at the at Vibe's show, our uncomfortable Bible study.
Mm.
He's been pretty good over there for that, actually.
He's an idiot.
Oh wow.
Anyway,
but to her criticism yesterday, even though I will take away like most of the insults, I don't care about those. Don't give a shit. But to her criticism, I agree. Like, I'm not the greatest interviewer. I'll probably try to do better in the future. And I don't go to her channel or do anything like that. I was told about it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to see what she said at least. And yeah, I don't know her. When I tried to know her, she blew up on me. So I was like, okay, fine. I don't have any animosity in general. I think she's entertaining, at least when she comes to your space, which is where I've seen her. So, and she makes good clips. So that's good enough for me.
Hold on, Coder's over 30.
Yeah.
Bro. Nah, it's just sad. Rip, Ryan. Just rip. Sorry.
I wasn't
sorry, bro.
Just to finish the whole thing. When I was thinking about these, I was thinking about someone young to give the perspective on the dating. That's why I thought of her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, she'd be great. I can maybe I'll look around and see if I've got somebody that might want to come on and do it.
You could probably ask Sarah. Sarah probably knows
Who?
somebody.
Oh yeah, Sarah probably knows somebody for sure. Yeah.
Let me know so I can change the miniature because I was working on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you know as soon as I know. Kissy Cat says she has a right not to want to interact with Emmett, but I honestly thought they were both joking and having fun during the interview. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at.
It really didn't seem like something terrible happened to cause that kind of a reaction. It really, I was incredibly lost.
That's insane. And Emmett has trouble doing interviews because Mexican is his primary language.
It's just because
it may have been
translate.
Yeah, you know, not being able to roll your R's every syllable may be standing in your way.
The problem was that I didn't use my Latino heat. That was the problem.
That's what it was. Stephen Akari comes in hot. Kel cried debating. Remember that. She did again. She did again.
Insane. That debate was awful.
She did again. I wasn't even mean to her.
You made her cry again.
I think I make her cry like every time. Look, I'm not making anyone do anything.
I made her cry once, and I didn't mean to. If I could have finished my sentence, I was actually, I mean, but I couldn't even finish my sentence because she got upset. I felt bad. It was like, Jesus.
Kissy Cat, just give me a third person opinion. You were here the other night. Was I rough on Kel? I didn't think I was being rough. She was like, I was undermining her after her opening because I would say something or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm undermining anything. Besides, why does it matter? And it honestly didn't seem like she understood the fucking prompt. Oh, Indian Jesus was like, he was being a little bit brutal, but it was his job to be brutal. He was in the middle of a debate. Like he's supposed to do that.
Indian Jesus was great. We
gotta have him back. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to change the ending of the whole thing. I didn't want to, but I'm gonna see if I can change where the music starts, so maybe that doesn't get the but I want to do like there's not that much like live content for last week, so I'm probably gonna do the debate panel, and then I'm gonna do a bunch of the debates because most of the debates were really good. I thought they were pretty awesome.
Speaking of debates, Grid, Tyler and I are supposed to. We've been debating about public schools for a while. I'm wondering if you might be up to hosting it in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can host it. Yeah, it's fine. I like that argument.
Me too.
I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear it. I'm sorry, guys. I did a new workout today, and my shoulders are fucked.
Get some peppermint oil. I'm telling you, man. Oh, it feels so good when you've got like aches and stuff, especially muscle ones. So good. Just wash your hands really good and don't touch anything sensitive until you do.
I have a habit of repeating the same criticism over and over, and I've had more than one woman tell me they feel targeted by me. Maybe because they keep saying the same stupid shit. Like, I don't. Do I do that? Do I repeat the same criticism? I mean, it could be.
Well,
we can check tape. Although, if one of those women was I killed Earl, I'm honestly like in the I don't give a fuck category on that one. I
haven't seen her in a long time, not since she rage quit.
Anson broke her.
I think that what it is, Grid, with you is that you have an expectation, right? And you give the criticism looking for the change. And sometimes people think they're changing, and they are changing in some ways. It's just not up to what you're looking for, so you give it again. So it's almost like talking past each other in a sense. But, I mean, hey.
Yeah. Well, Grumplestillskin apparently feels targeted by me and my Porsches. I'm sorry.
Grumple, I bet you have a more lovely hammer than Grid does, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, have you seen him polish that hammer?
Yeah, no. So and I'm reading some of these other comments. I did say I didn't say necessarily the same words, but I used the same technique on every single critique. I never changed my technique. I tell you what you did good. I tell you what you did bad. I tell you what I expected you to do because I have a if you've debated before, because I have a feeling of what you're capable of and what you should be going for. And I personally like, look, if somebody said to me, dude, you know when to call these three fallacies, and you didn't call them at all. Not only did you miss one or two, you didn't call any of them. I'd be like, fuck, you're right. I did do that. And I would want to know that I missed that, right? Like I would want to know that, people expected me to catch, or this is what the expectation is, that I'm that I'm not an idiot. That and that's actually another problem with our society is everyone just expects the smallest amount of anything. I have an expectation of people, a performance expectation of people in basically everything. When I was, and obviously this has been, something I've done my entire career. When I owned the shops, and I had an idea of what, and I actually used to say this all the time, like I had an idea of what timeline or what it would take to get a job done, and if you could explain to me why it took longer, then I would get not upset, but I would get like, I kind of get in your ass a little bit about it because. Yeah. You're not. What are you doing? You're fucking off. You're talking to your girlfriend. What's going on? Because you're not getting it done in the time that it should be get done. Or even worse is if you just lagged so much. And I literally have told people, if I have to do it, why do I need you? Like, why do I need you here?
Exactly.
If I have to do your job and my job, why do I need you here? I hired you to do a job. And so I carry that, and, of course I do the same thing with my son. If my son, I feel bad for him sometimes because I'm hard on it. And there's an expectation there's an expectation of performance, and so
the world is going to be much harder on him than you will be. So in all actuality, and that's how I've always viewed it as a parent. And Kat's right. I mean, after my debate with Confluence, like I had a lot of people who were like, damn, he was so hard on you. And it was like, he was firm with me. Yeah, he's probably a little hard on me. But I didn't have a problem with it. And in all actuality, I said outright, everything that you said to me was absolutely correct. And it was things that I need to pay attention to and I need to change. And I appreciate it. I don't care how it's delivered to me. If it's something that's going to help me improve what I'm doing, I'm fine taking it however it comes.
Yeah.
But there's too many people are really soft now.
Mm-hmm. And I think Kel I think Kel has, and there were, like Indian Jesus was like, maybe this just isn't your game. And I made the point of saying, no, I disagree with it. I think Kel has the ability to be a really good debater.
She does.
And, there's one of the problems that you fall into at least in this sphere is like, if you're if you're inexperienced, you're going to get people that give you good advice and you're going to get people that give you bad advice. And you have to really decide what you're going to listen to and the different techniques and the different ways that they should look at things and address things, right? So if you go to a more liberal debate group where basically all they do is spurg and repeat the things over and over again, and you learn that technique, and then you come here where we're trying to be logical and rational and okay, maybe a little bit of spurging here and there, maybe a little bit of drama, but not too much. It could hurt your feelings when you get the review. It could hurt you, right? And so, especially if the expectation is that you know what to do and you don't do what you should be doing, right? And maybe that's maybe I was I don't think I was really tough on her. I really thought she didn't win that debate at all. So
here's the thing is it's like, even for me, there's times where, and I especially remember it a lot with my dad, where when I was being criticized or, and it was constructive criticism by all means, but my dad's always been one of those harsh guys. And I can remember it, hurting my feelings and being upset about it. But that's kind of like that woman thing too. And it's so important to stop and actually think about it and process it before you open your mouth and make any decisions to freak out or react. And the reaction will kill you every time. Better to respond.
I saw a message in Discord, so I don't know which one, but I mean, look, I call it as I see it. And I can be wrong, but I really try not to say things that are wrong. So anyway, I just and look, I do think that and Kel did say, that she looks up to me and that, she values my opinion, and I get that, but I also, I probably shouldn't have said it, but I did also said that I don't really differentiate between men and women in this, right? Like you are a person playing the game. So,
right.
I did the same thing with drivers too. I had a hard time with female drivers that were kind of prima donnas because I didn't treat them differently than the male drivers. Like if you're going to get in the car, you need to do the same or better job. So
that's one of the best things that Anson really helped me with, as was a matter of, it's like, I already understood that I'm a woman coming into a male dominated space, right? And the thing is, especially for other women who are going to come into the space and going to debate, they need to remember that, you know, they're going to be treated like one of the guys, not like a woman. You're going to be treated like a debater. And so you need to put aside your fifis and just pay attention. And, you know, if you got to be emotional about it, go do it later privately and get over it, you know. But you can't expect to come in here and, you know, it's like playing football with the boys and then you get tackled and you want to cry about it. You're playing football.
Right.
Yeah.
At any rate, I think Kel has a great future. I think, you know, I hope that she's doing better today, and hopefully she just needs some time away from the debates here. And look, that's a fair assessment, right?
She's young. With time, she'll grow, she'll mature, she'll learn, and she will be a really good debater for sure. She has a lot of talent.
If she wants to be.
Yeah, that's the other thing is you have to have that drive and dedication, not even necessarily to like even in the debate part of it, but just in the social skills and the interactions and how you're going to be treated coming into these spaces. It's the first big hurdle to overcome. Then you worry about how you debate.
Yeah. I think I'm going to call it in just a couple of minutes. If anybody else wants to come up really quickly, or you know, if we have another issue or two to get into, that'd be awesome. But I'm really going to do I'm going to get out at 2:45 because I do have a call with James from Modern Day Debate. Guys, if you don't know, I'm sure that everyone in here does. But if you don't, I do have the event, my event at DebateCon in Nashville coming up. And that's all a go. Everything's really cool. Looks like I've got everything pretty much lined out. I was expecting Glenn to be able to make it. That is on the bubble right now. He wants to. The problem is, you know, he's having to work and do whatever he can to get everything back in order. So, I don't know if he's going to make it. I talked to him last night for a while, and he's like, you know, he's trying everything. I think one of the things, and I should have known this. I guess I did know it, but it didn't occur to me that obviously, you know, Glenn's working in California and Hollywood, and it's hard for him to get hired by the bigger companies because they take one look at his YouTube page and they're like, no. So I didn't realize that he's kind of frustrated right now because he keeps thinking he has a job and then he doesn't. So that's rough. And when I talked to him last night, he was like, I asked him about, you know, when he was going to come back to YouTube, and he's like, look, I'm not making any money on YouTube. He feels like, I don't know that he's right about this, but I can understand why he feels like this, that there's been an effort by some people to kind of poison the well. And so he feels like he gets, it's a word I should use here. Yeah, he's just not able to get the audience that he had before and whatnot. I don't know that that's true. Maybe. But so he's, like I said, he's doing pretty much everything he can he's trying to make it, you know, he's really trying to get everything sorted out so he can come to the event. Obviously he wants to, but right now he's mostly concerned with staying employed somewhere. So, and again, he doesn't really make any money streaming. So, you know, he wants to make, I get that. The only thing that I, you know, so I don't know that Glenn's going to be there, though. I guess the point is that Glenn and I had talked about him doing like a man in the crowd camera kind of deal. He's really good at that. He's really good about kind of surfing through the crowd and getting people to say things and have conversations, and I'm going to have to find somebody new for that. If you guys know somebody that's gregarious and can just have those like man on the street sort of interviews, I need to talk to several people about it because I think that's going to be an important part of it.
I might be able to help out with that. So
okay. And then we've got I'm going to be at TwitchCon in October. I think it's the 15th, 16th, 17th or something like that. So if you can make it, if you're going to TwitchCon and you see me there or you want to see me there, let me know and we can meet up or whatever. Yeah, Hanson says I can talk to anyone. Grid. They'll probably smack me if they are female though. Don't use my services. Right. So that's a thing. As far as so, even though so Glenn, I talked to him last night about the because he had obviously made promises to some of you guys, and I talked to him about it last night. Now he had a kind of I think he had a specific place in mind, so I'm waiting to get the information on that, and then we're gonna probably just going to go ahead and book everything, and I can help him muddle through that if there's if there's some issue somewhere, but I want to get everything kind of ironed out on his end. So I think the biggest thing right now is he's trying to determine whether or not he's going to be able to go. So we'll see. But yeah, he's not really. It's not that he's kind of avoiding YouTube. He's when he has time, he will put pre-records together, and I think he wants to go back to doing interviews. So we'll see. We'll see if that. I'll see how that works out for him. But yeah, it's been rough. I think he underestimated a lot of different things. I think one of the things he underestimated is how his ex-wife was going to, or future ex-wife is dealing with the idea of getting divorced. I don't think he correctly assessed that situation. And that's causing him some issues right now too, which I will not get into because it's not my place to talk about. So, yeah. But at any rate, so TwitchCon, then my event, DebateCon. I will be at DebateCon. I'll be there both days, I think. I may skip Sunday. If Sunday's not like going to be really cool, I may skip Sunday and go shooting because I have a match that day, and I like to play. And yeah, I don't know. You guys got anything else? You might want to talk about anything.
Are you still planning to do the shooting after?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah, I'd like to do Monday. Yeah, Monday. If everybody's there, whoever's left there Monday, there's a range that I shoot at on. It is like an hour and a half to 2 hours from Nashville. So I don't know that people are going to want to drive that far, but. If we get a lot of people, we'll go to that range. If not, there's a couple of ranges that are closer where we can just stand there and shoot stuff. But yeah, I'm still planning on it. Whether or not it happens, I don't know. I just think that most people are going to still be there Monday because the debates don't end until like 9:00 Sunday night. Paul Page. From Nashville, it is southeast. It is in Spencer, Tennessee. Spencer. The name of the range is Dead Zero. You can look it up.
Good name for a range.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to be the match director there for 3 Gun. Wicked Wally has thrown out a $5. An independent pro wrestler, Akira, had news come out he was abused for years by his ex-girlfriend. Reaction from the fans is half support, half ridicule. Yeah, that happens every single time a dude has anything go on. Yeah. And women are evil. Most women are canned evil, just waiting to be open. So, that's just the way it is. Bye-bye, Kissy Cat. What's up, Admiral Gibbs? Good to see you, man. But yeah, it's been. Kissy Cat says she is not evil. Remains to be seen.
Hi, Ashton.
So, what's up, A. Alwine?
Yeah, that's Ashton. He's a good guy.
Why don't you grift, Ben, and just tell everybody about your future plans that you have coming?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Well.
Yeah, tell us about your channel and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if Gert even knows. Yeah, guys, I'm actually going to be launching my own channel. Kind of, fill in the spots where everybody else isn't on, and focus on taking on the social and cultural topics and issues that we have. And I'm excited. Get some serious topics in there. Have something where we can just kick back and laugh at something stupid that's going on. I'm excited for it. Yeah. It's going to be good. So far, I'm getting a lot of really awesome support from people with it. And they kind of had to push me into it, too, because I was like, yeah, my own channel. It's a little weird for me. But I hope to see all of y'all at my panels, especially you two, Grid.
I rarely ever get a chance to watch anybody else's content. It's a really interesting thing because everybody thinks that I spend all my time in front of a computer, but I'm like, I don't even get to watch whatever anymore. Like,
oh no, I know you're a busy man.
And it's funny because somebody will say, "Oh, hey, did you see whatever?" And I'm like, or no, or not. Did you see so and so's stream? And I'll be like, "No, I mean, I heard about it. I saw some clips. I hadn't actually watched it." Oh, why not? Well, I don't know. I was busy. Like I got my own shit to do. I got
wife, kids, business. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got to do I also prep for this show, right? Like the shit I put together doesn't happen in like 5 minutes. So, and then but really a lot of it is just that I'll lurk sometimes, and sometimes I'll get involved, but not as much as I used to, right? And honestly, so this seems to happen, and I've watched this happen now for a couple of years, where Admiral Gibbs has just found something wrong with my Twitch, so he's going to let me know how to fix it. Oh, really? I thought I had it set for something different. We'll have to fix that. I do. I listen to Mike's show in the morning because so what happens is, this is how my day goes. I get up, I take the kids to school, I go to work out, and that takes me an hour and a half or so. So I usually get back to my house somewhere around 8:45 to 9:15, like half-hour range, depending on whether or not I rode the bike, or whether if I drove the truck or whatever. So, and then Mike's coming on not long after that. So I'll sit down at my desk, I'll start my research, just calm down, maybe have a little bite to eat or something, and I'll get in a shower. And then Mike's on, and I'll listen to like the first 20 or 30 minutes of Mike's show while I'm showering, getting dressed, all of that, and then I'm back out the door. And then I come back in, I do the show. I've got it like even like right now I'm going to end up having to shut down. I'm at the timeout limit, and because I got a phone call right after this, and as soon as I finish the phone call, I've got some other stuff to do. So I never have like time. Like I have to have really good time management, because otherwise I don't get shit done. So, which I think most people have problems with. I need to talk to Emmett because we've got some projects that we're going on. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm trying to do challenge coins for DebateCon for my event at DebateCon, so that you will have it'll cost maybe $10 or something, but everybody you can get something that's not a T-shirt, something that's not not going to get ruined or torn up or whatever, and have a souvenir of the event. And I've got to get those wrapped up so that we can put them on the website for sale or run a sale through the YouTube channel. And so I got to get that done. We've got to talk more about that and get the design finalized so I can send those off to the people that actually make them, because I don't make them. And then we've got the web. I've got to redo the website, at least the artwork and everything, and then send that to the web guy. Which actually, that's Tyler. Tyler's helping me out with the website, and so there'll be merch available. I don't know if I've shown any of it. Let me see. Do I have any of it ready to view? I mean, I do. Let me see if I can log in here really quick, because I'm almost out of time. I mean, technically I'm out of time. I'm just being a dick. So.
Well, we appreciate you sticking around, hanging out with us.
Well, hopefully, because we weren't really clear about it, hopefully James is going to call me and not the other way around.
And just so you know, Grid, as part of my channel, I created a playlist where I'm kind of featuring you and Emmett and Abe and all the other guys, and promoting you guys as I'm picking different streams that you guys have done that are really good and mesh well with my channel theme, and so trying to give you guys a little promotion in there too.
I don't have the right stuff up right now. I'll show the merch later. But anyway, it's I got pretty good merch stuff going on. I got a lot of stuff going on. So I got to meet with my buddy Tyler probably tomorrow and get the wrap up the artwork and stuff for the website. I may have to get Emmett to make me some artwork because I'm not artistic. And yeah, I mean, it never ends. It never ends. I got car stuff I'm doing. I got cars to fix. I got a lot of stuff going on. So, but at any rate, I do have to jump off. Cleaner, I saw you come in. Sorry, buddy. I got to go. But we'll. I got to get some stuff going on for the. I got to actually the next step for the. Maryland sends in $2. How interesting. I appreciate that, Marilyn. Not much, but I found $2. Well, I appreciate your couch coughing up the $2. That's where I always find $2. That or jackets. So
I need to take a nap, anyways. A long morning.
Cleaner. I may go on Prime Kai's tonight and debate. If not, I haven't been invited on. Monday nights, I usually do panels that I'm invited on. Right now, I'm not invited anywhere, so except Prime, and I'm not super ecstatic about the prompt. As always, it's garbage. So I don't know. We'll find out. I'll let you know. But definitely tomorrow there will be nothing unless I just really get bored and I just jump on, which is unlikely since I'll be playing golf. And so Wednesday night will be the next regularly scheduled show. And Wednesday night we've got Sarah, Kissy Cat, and
decided.
Huh?
It's the show so far is Sarah, Kissy Cat, Grid, Abe, Cleaner, and to be decided.
And so we're looking for some people. So yeah, there you go. Wally, you got to let us know that you're available and to come on, man. And Friday night. So the Friday night's debate show was epic. Honestly, it was probably the best one. I really like how people can kind of jump in and jump out now, and that's awesome. And I really had I had a really good time. And that's my son calling. I got to go, guys. I'll be in touch. You guys have a great rest of your day, and keep your Discord alerts on, so I will reach out to you. See ya.